these streets. I'm coming in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. I hope you're doing well. And this is our first live stream from the new spooky studio. Now the thing is that it's a lot of the same stuff I had before with a few little accents and things, but whole new studio, whole new, well, not brand new house, but new house. And we took a bedroom here and we converted it to a studio. I had a company come in and actually put in like official, real sound treatment. I think there's like 26 sound panels in this to deaden the sound. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you've heard the benefit of that because I think we're getting a lot better sound on the shows. And a brand new fancy Neumann mic, which was not cheap, but I love the thing. So I really, this is a whole new space, totally new space. And again, with some of your old, we've got Frank and I think I called him Al the Alien over there. So we've got Frank and Al are still here. And my radios and all that fun stuff. So we're going to start ramping up the videos now. And so glad to be here. We've got a lot of friends here. And I really feel badly I haven't been doing the video side. I've not been keeping my end of the bargain up, but it just, it's been so busy. Many of you, I know you've moved, you know what it's like, and it's not easy. And it's a pain. I love where we're at. I love the place. I love the studio now, but it took a lot of work to get here. Hillary, hello. Callie from Live Streaming Pros, the folks that did a lot to help make this look like this was the stuff I learned from Live Streaming Pros. So good to see you, Callie, always. Stacy, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I didn't leave your comment up there very long. She says, hello, fellow spooky peeps. Let's see, who else do we have here? Michelle. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us now. There's Brian. I like his profile pic there with that little camera. That looks like, I don't know what that is, what camera that is, but that's a cool profile. I like that. Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Good to see you. Jennifer L. and Jennifer Baker. Excellent, excellent. So, and let's see here. Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan. Profile picture of John Candy there. Great comedic actor. Let's see. I just want to say hey to some more people. Laura, good to see you. Jay, hey there, long time no see. Well, you can't get rid of me that easily. Just a momentary pause. Let's see who else is here. Herod Guy, love the new digs. Cool. Lauren says hey. And Lauren likes the look. Looks great. Thanks, Lauren. I appreciate it. Let's see. Brigan Jin, I think that's right, says, love the alien. Yeah, that's a cool touch. That's, we had, blanking on the name of it, the mask maker who made this. Infinity Masks, I think. The gentleman who made those for me over in the UK, he's fantastic. Jim says, you're the best, Jim. Thank you so much. And you've got a good first name. I like that name. So what I thought we'd talk about today, first of all, if you've got any questions, anything you want to talk about, ask me about, we've got a small but mighty group here. I wanted to talk to you about a couple things that are going on. And if you missed it, I'm kind of, there was a period when we were moving when it was like, well, it's enough to get the shows out. I just have to get the shows out. But with Halloween coming up and things more settled here, the idea is start to expand again and bring you more content in more things. By the way, Brian says that's a Ricoh camera. Cool. Very cool. Jen says, hello. Hey, Jen. So anyway, the idea is to bring you more content and be doing more things rather than just the status quo. Really, the first thing that we did was my daughter's podcast. And I should have preloaded a graphic here. Kaylee, if you're seeing this, you're like, Jim, you should have preloaded the graphic. But my daughter Cassandra is doing a new podcast. It is called Unpleasant Dreams. And the first show was about Black Eyed Kids. The second show was about Elisa Lam, and I'll give you a little preview. I believe next week's episode, not 100% sure on this, will be on shadow people. So if you're a podcast listener and you like the podcast we do, I think you'll really like what she's done with this. She recently graduated college. She was a drama minor, an English major. Our associate producer, Maddie Hilker, is writing the scripts and doing the researching, just doing a fantastic, exhaustive job. I've heard people who have listened to the show say, I've been following these cases for years and I've not heard this level of detail. And it's in a 10, 20-minute podcast. So Maddie's done a great job with that. And I think Cassandra does a fine job reading, better than I do. And I think that you really should check it out because it's a lot of fun. It may not be a fun topic, but they are entertaining. They are interesting. It's called Unpleasant Dreams. You can find it on all the major podcatchers. We're not on iHeart yet because to submit through Libsyn, you have to have a waiting period, but it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts. So you should be able to easily find it, and you can find it over our website, jimharold.com. So that's the first thing. Please, if you haven't, just listen to one episode. That's all I ask. One episode, give us one episode, see what you think. Unpleasant Dreams, hosted by Cassandra Harold. And again, you should find it wherever you find your podcasts and also at jimharold.com. And let's go back to the audience here and see if there were any questions here. Fatima says, Jim, I'm so excited. Love the campfire. Thank you so much. Jay says, can't wait for Halloween with your new studio. Yeah, we're going to do our Halloween special like we always do. The challenge is to find something that works in terms of dressing up because, honestly, I outdid myself last year with the Pennywise the Clown, and Dar did a great job on the makeup. And I don't know what I'm going to be this year. We'll see. Jonathan said he was listening to the new Campfire episode when he received the live notification. There I am, competing with myself. Good morning. Good morning to you. Congrats on the new digs. Thank you so much. Caro God 420 says, hi, guys. Hi. Michelle wants to know if the game will come back. I bet that's the paranormal quiz she's talking about. We are going to do something. I don't know if we're going to do exactly that same thing, but we are going to do something with games. So stay tuned on that. We might do some fun stuff with games. So just stay tuned on that. We haven't quite formulated it yet. A lot of expansion going on here, so we're doing one thing at a time. Jennifer says, Michelle, the game is one of my favorites. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll be doing some fun things. Laura says that she loves Unpleasant Dreams. She sounds great. And Fatima says, thank you for helping me get through work with your awesome content. And Fatima, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Let's see what else we have. Joshua says, good morning. Good morning, Joshua. And, the Rogue Mason said, I do have experience in dealing with shadow people and the Hat Man. And he heard my recent interview with Jimmy Church, and it was a lot of fun. We did it a couple of hours. I think the plan originally going into that interview was just to do a lot of spooky campfire stories, and we started getting in a philosophical conversation about the paranormal and the supernatural, and I think I got one or two stories in. It was a lot of fun, though. Nailboz says, hello from Scott. And hello, Nailboz. Thank you for joining us, and our group is growing here. Lily says, hey, Jim. Hey, Lily. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, okay. So we talked about Unpleasant Dreams. Cassandra's hosting it. If you like spooky stuff and people are saying it's super creepy, please do check it out. That would be great. So that's number one. Now, I also said you could go over to our website at jimharold.com and check that out. Well, you can go check a lot of things out at jimharold.com. And if you check out jimharold.com, Along with the new studio, the new podcast, we have a new website, jimharold.com. Total redesign. So much easier to find things. Really appreciate it. And a lot of fun. So it's just so much easier to find things. I'm just so proud of that website. And it was one of those deals where I could have went outside and hired a web developer for $10,000. But we rolled up our sleeves and found some great themes out there and did the customization ourselves. So I'm really proud of that. So do check that out. Now here's an interesting, well, let's get a couple more contents. Gin Chaser says, hello, sir. Love your show. Thank you, Gin Chaser. And you're braver than me to chase the gin. Knit Bear 2.0. How about a kind of spooky crossword hangman style quiz questions with a phrase or word to solve? I really like that. I'm going to keep that in mind. Callie says, heck yeah. I'm not sure what she's saying the heck yeah about, but heck yeah, Callie. Heck yeah. And I'm really honored. Callie is with Live Streaming Pros, and they're the folks, Luria and her team are the ones that have really helped me get this up to speed. I studied video in school, but school has been a little while. And so I knew the general principles of lighting and so forth, and I'd actually done a little bit of TV in college. So I felt like it was something I could get back into, but I was not familiar with the newer camera equipment and the newer setups, and certainly not familiar how to do live streaming. And I worked with Live Streaming Pros and was a part of their program for probably the better part of a year, and they taught me a ton. So if you're looking to do this kind of stuff and make it look like this, Live Streaming Pros, do check it out. So thank you, Callie and Luria and the team over there. Jen says, Cassandra's delivery is great, perfect amount of time, and I like the music mixed in. Thank you. Ian says, when are you coming over to the UK? Funny you mention that, Ian. I was just talking to somebody over in Wales for an interview for a documentary. And that's why I ended up doing this, because I'm like, I've got the lights on, everything set up. I look halfway decent. Let's just go ahead and do a live stream. That was kind of impromptu. But I told them I would love to go back over to the UK. My wife has family there. And I consider my uncle too, my uncle and aunt over there now by marriage, but they're great people. But we're all waiting to see what happens with this pandemic. So hopefully soon. Callie says your setup is one of my favorites of any content creator. Thank you, Callie. That means a lot coming from you. Monty says, look forward to the Paranormal Podcast each week. Can't say that about many other podcasts. Thank you so much. That is so kind. I really, really appreciate that. So new website, new studio, Unpleasant Dreams. Another thing you should check out, if you like the shows, we have gear for sale. Now with the new website, it's very easy to find. You just go to jimharold.com and click on gear, and it'll take you right to my mausoleum of merch. Well, there is a sale going on the next couple of days. You want to check that out. And Callie, I should have loaded up these graphics. But again, this was impromptu. So go over to jimharold.com, click on gear, and you can get various items up to 38% off this weekend. So if you are a fan of the shows, please check it out. And then I guess for the last thing I wanted to cover on this, and want to make sure that we get your feedback. And you've kind of mentioned the game shows. What do you want to see on this YouTube channel? That's something I've really struggled with. I think we have about 7,800 subscribers now. I've noticed a lot more comments lately on older videos, so that's promising. But I think for hopefully the quality we're putting out, we should do better than that. Now, the question is it something that I'm doing in the marketing, something I'm doing in the thumbnails, or am I not providing the right content? That's the question. So, again, I'd like to know your feedback, what you'd like to see on the YouTube channel. My feeling is, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I don't think the interviews are as popular. I think the main thing that I can do that people would like on the YouTube channel are the campfire stories, having me read the campfire stories and retell those from the books. I think that's something that I could do and people would really like. The interviews, not so much. They don't seem to get quite as much traction. I mean, I had Rainn Wilson in character as Terry Carnation a while back. Rainn Wilson from The Office. And I mean, it got okay views, but it was not massive. So the thing is that the question is, what do I need to be doing that you want to see, that you want to tune in for? A couple of comments here. Oh, Fatima gave me a super sticker. Now, it's weird in Ecamm, the software I'm using, it doesn't show the super sticker, but it's $3, and thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're super duper. Thanks for the super chat.
So thank you, Fatima. Thank you very much for that. It means so much, your support, and it helps us do this kind of thing. So thank you so much. And I apologize if I get your name wrong. I'm going to try it. Lycra, I think, or Lycra. I'm sorry, I'm not getting it right. I'm sorry, but you just ordered your shirt. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I know I got your name wrong, and I am so sorry. So I apologize in advance. I'm sorry. Laura, she says she loves the games. Lauren says definitely it's word of mouth that will make it grow. I've turned 3 friends onto Campfire just this week. That's a way to do it. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it. And that's the thing, and I say this on the shows, but it's true. We don't have huge budgets for marketing. I have stepped that up, and I have been spending money on advertising on other podcasts, advertising on Facebook, but the budgets are limited. So we really need you to carry the water for the shows and the YouTube channel and any of the projects that you think are worthy to spread the word, because you really are the people that put the message out there. And when you tell somebody, every time you tell somebody about the campfire, an angel gets its wings. No. But Jim appreciates it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing the word. Laura says she liked the interviews. Joshua says, I haven't been able to be on here enough to have an informed opinion on it, but Campfire is generally my favorite. Michelle says, impromptu gatherings are fun. Any paranormal subjects we can all discuss. I think that's really a good point, is that to me, YouTube has 2 benefits, right? One are kind of recorded videos that are more content that are going to be there for new people to discover and enjoy, and existing people to enjoy, of course. And then I think interaction like this is great because you guys are my community. I want to serve you. I want to interact with you. So I think that a regularly scheduled live stream or impromptu live streams, I definitely want to be doing more of that. If nothing else, it's just fun to talk with you guys. I love interacting with you guys. I appreciate everything you do for me. So I guess my point is that if it doesn't get me one more subscriber, who cares? You're here, and that's the important thing. Fatima said, I'd love some sort of reenacted TV show. It'd be a great segue into a YouTube show. Fatima, if you can clarify on that, because I don't know what you quite mean there. So if you can just clarify that a little bit, I'd love to know what you're talking about there. Now, Laura says, maybe do some live shows in the evening rather than afternoon. They would be easier to watch and interact after work. That's true. That's why we always tried to do the paranormal quiz in the evening. It's a good point. Thanks, Laura. Jennifer says, I'd love it if you'd read the campfire stories on YouTube. Yeah, that's something I think people would really enjoy. I did 1 or 2 of them, and then I never did any more. And as Callie will tell you, persistence, it's just like podcasting. Persistence and regularity wins out. I mean, if you post a video here and there, you might get one that catches, but you're not going to get consistent people tuning in because you're not consistent. 1985 Olgita, I believe that's it. Hey, you're back. Great studio. Can't wait for stories. Excellent. Judith. Hey, Judith. Judith is a big supporter and listener. We appreciate it. Hey, Judith, how are you? Gin Chaser said, I just started my paranormal podcast just watching you, but is Pakistani language. I think that's awesome. I mean, there's billions of people in the world and they speak a lot more languages than English. So I think having non-English paranormal podcast is great. We thought about translating some of the things, but there's only so many hours in a day. I think that's awesome, Gin Chaser. Good for you. Best of success with it. Okay. Megan says, is it possible to do live call-ins? I haven't been able to follow the channel much, but just thought of the idea. We are great minds think alike, Megan, because I just put something out on Paranormal Podcast. I would like to do live call-ins, but it's got to be something that's manageable. I mean, even if it's audio only, it's because you're in a live environment. You're working with a lot of different elements, visual, sound, comments. So it has to be something that works well. So we'll see. It's something that I really want to, I definitely want to pursue. All right, let's see what, okay. Okay, the original Alexa has this to say. The interviews often go too long, and many of the interviewees aren't very good speakers. They can often have so many pauses between words and verbal ups and ahs that make it difficult listening. I'd be interested if you're talking about the paranormal podcast content or the campfire content or actual videos we've done on YouTube. Now, this is just my personal view. When people come on Campfire, these are people who are just normal folks. They're not used to being on mic or on camera. So I personally feel that we should cut them some slack and understand they might be nervous. This might be the first time they've ever been on a podcast or something like the radio. So I think we should be more forgiving. In terms of professional authors and things, that's a little different. That's a little different story. You expect them to be well-spoken. So, Alexa, I would be interested if you're talking about Campfire or Paranormal Podcast, because if you're talking about Paranormal Podcast, point taken. Maybe we need to get, improve our guest selection. On the other hand, if you're talking about Campfire, I think we should cut these people some slack. Now, in terms of the interviews being too long, you may very well be right for YouTube, because I think that shorter content tends to do better. If you look at the time spent watching and those kind of things, it tends to be very low. So anyway, thank you for your comment, and any further clarification you have, I'll be glad to talk about. We're going to go to about half past the hour, another 6 or 7 minutes, and we're going to try to blaze through these questions and comments. And again, I thank you for doing this. And it's a lot of fun to talk to you again. I missed you guys. Jennifer says, anytime someone on Reddit asks if anyone knows of a spooky podcast, I always mention Jim Harold's Campfire and the Paranormal Podcast. Thank you, Jennifer. That's how it's done. Thank you. Michelle says, subscribe to the Spooky Studio. It's awesome. Thank you for that. Now, again, and I think the new website's going to help solve this, but I have so many things going on, it's hard to promote everything. We have a free app called Jim Harold Spooky Studio. It's on Android, it's on Apple, it's on Amazon tablets, and so forth. And the thing is, if you don't pay a penny, you can use it to listen to my shows. And all my spooky current shows are in there. If you become a Plus Club member, you sign into the app and you get access to, I think, over 2,200 episodes. So if you really like the shows and you're not a Plus Club member, think about it. And you can kind of preview what it's like by downloading the free Spooky Studio app. Just a thought. Thank you, Michelle. Gin Chaser says, I love the Terry Carnation interview with you. Thank you. Thank you. I loved it too. He was so much fun. And, a heck of a nice guy. I hope to talk with Terry/Rain again soon. Judith said live phone-ins would be good. I agree. Maybe a happy spooky hour a la Jeff Belanger. I thought about doing that a couple of years ago, and I didn't. And Jeff's great. I don't want to duplicate what he's doing, but Jeff is fantastic. He's very charismatic. He's a great guy. He's terrific. Laura says, I'm able to watch now because I wear Bluetooth protective hearing headphones while I work. Very good, Laura. Very, very good. Very thinking. Good stuff. Doug says, thanks for all you do. You're a busy man. Yeah, well, this is my job, and I want to do the best job I can for everybody. Thank you, Doug. Bandrew says, looks great and sounds great. Thank you, Bandrew. Let me tell you, people, if you are into podcasting, if you're into audio, if Callie's still there and you don't know Bandrew, you need to check out Bandrew. He is the expert on microphones. He does the best, most exhaustive reviews of microphones out there. And thanks to Bandrew, I spent a lot of money. Now, thanks to Bandrew, I buy the right mics. And this is the TLM 103, highly recommended by Bandrew. And he's tremendous. So Bandrew, thank you for what you do. And everybody, if you're interested in audio, thinking about podcasting, do live streaming, check out Bandrew. He is awesome. Awesome? He's awesome. Bandrew Scott. Check him out. Super chat from Gin Chaser. Thank you so much.
Super duper.
Thank you.
Thanks for the super chat.
Really appreciate it. Ron the Sage says, start with campfire stories and add interviews with the best people who have multiple encounters or lots of detail. We're thinking along the same lines. Kind of tried to do that. It was a little difficult just getting people. I think that's a good idea, though, Ron. We kind of tried to do that, but we had fits and starts, but that's a good idea. Nip Bear says, campfire stories are a great idea. Thank you, Nip Bear. The original Alexa, I generally really enjoy your content. Even with my critique, I agree with the evening shows. Alexa, you know what? I appreciate the praise from people, and that's nice. But I also, when I ask for feedback, I want people to say, if they find an issue, because how do you get better? And that's a thing for me. I've always had this philosophy of continuous improvement. I always want to get better. And when somebody like you says, hey, maybe the interviews are too long for YouTube, you know what? You're probably right. So thank you. Punk the Dungeon said, I love that name, Punk the Dungeon. I finally caught a live stream. Love you from Israel. Keep it spooky, Jim. You keep it spooky too. Stay spooky. And thank you so much. Good to see you. Jennifer said, I like the deep dives you did with stories where you went back and interviewed folks who shared their stories before. I agree. And the other thing is I don't think, with podcasting, I know that you have to be consistent and you have to be long enough and strong enough and do it for enough time. And maybe, they say people quit like right before something is ready to be very successful. And with the moving and things, I kind of quit YouTube, really, except for an interview here or there since April. Black Cougar 1959, thank you so much.
Thanks for the super chat.
And Sheba Dog saying, good job, while raising his thumb up. I wish the Ecamm people would figure out a way to put the actual super sticker in the comment. So, but thank you, Black Cougar. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, Jennifer. Yeah, the nervous factor is understandable and why I've never participated in the quiz show, even though I'd like to. And I always say, I think you guys know me well enough now to know that I'm a pretty friendly guy. There's nothing to be nervous about. But I understand. But don't be nervous. Okay, here, Fatima clarified, and I think she's got a great point. Sure, I think your campfire show would work exceptionally well as a reenacted 4 stories per episode TV show. Obviously, it requires production and budget, but you could also showcase it on YouTube. Couldn't agree more. I think that's spot on, but it is production and time and people. But I think it will work exceptionally well as a television show. All right. Joe says, hello from British Columbia, Canada. Love what you do, Jim. Would love to hear what it was like doing the episode with Rainn Wilson / Terry Carnation. It was great. Just a great guy. What happened was we were scheduled for like one time, and I get a call on my phone from Los Angeles. And I usually don't pick up my phone because, all the spam calls. And I said, I bet this is Rainn Wilson's assistant. And something came up or something. So I pick up the phone, and he's like, is this Jim Harold? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, this is Rainn Wilson. And I'm like, holy crap. I didn't say that, but I was saying it internally. And he's like, something came up and everything. Could we push back the taping time an hour or two? And I'm like, okay, let's see. You are a legendary comedian that was on one of the greatest TV series ever, and I'm a little old podcaster in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, I think we can push it back 2 hours. So, so it was really a joy. It couldn't have been nicer. And the thing that I loved about it is there was no prep. If you watch that interview, I thought it worked pretty well. And it was really interesting trying to keep up with him because it's kind of like, you play basketball. Let's say that you're someone that plays basketball, right? Not me, but somebody is a decent basketball player. But then you get to play with Michael Jordan. That's what it felt like because I was trying to play straight man and I was trying to keep up with him, not laugh, which I succeeded for the most part. But I think a couple of times he liked some of the comebacks. I thought worked really well, and it was so much fun. He's great. And his podcast is very funny, which you would expect from Rainn Wilson. Comedic genius and nice guy. Midnight Misfits. Hi, Jim. I'm a big fan of yours. Monty, another super sticker. I can't speak. Super sticker. Pair character lifting some weight saying keep it up. Thank you, Monty. Appreciate it.
Super chat.
Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. Nice to see you, and thanks for watching. Okay. All right, 1 minute. The original Alexa, sorry for the critique. Don't be sorry. Like I said before, do not be sorry for critiques. This is per Campfire. I agree with Nerves, and usually a brief mention ahead of time works. That's what TV news interviews often do. No offense intended. No offense taken. Jennifer says, I've had the Plus Club since December, and I feel like I barely made a dent in the episode. So worth it. I'd love to hear that because I want to provide value for people. Jennifer, I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you haven't made a dent yet. Let's see here. Jen, I just downloaded the app. It works well. I love being a Plus Club member and searching past shows. I just listened to an interview from 2010 with Robert Hastings. And that's the beauty of it is you can go back a long time. And that's really a lot of fun. So, and sometimes I even forget all that content is there. So that's great. Monty says, you have, 15 years of content, maybe a best of show where you revisit some of your best over the years? Yes. Callie says, ooh, coming to you, Bandrew. Yep, Callie, you'll find his content very, very useful. Jen says, oops, it was 2011. Bye all. Love that you're back, Jim. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. Jennifer says she likes the deep. I think the deep dive she's talking about. S says, haven't gotten notifications for a long time. Good to see you back. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Midnight Misfits, Rod and Kelly G. How about a podcast about people who go into the forests and national parks and are never seen again? Ooh, that's a good one. Good topic. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Judith said, I enjoyed where Jim interviewed the lady who phoned in with the Roadhouse Saloon story. That was if you haven't seen that video, that's the best video I think we've had on the channel. That one really is worthy of going viral. And that's really something that I think is edited to a level that could be on television. So it's the Roadhouse Saloon on my YouTube channel. And I think that one, if you haven't seen, I mean, that's fully produced. I had a friend of mine who is a professional cameraman here in the Cleveland market. He's been working for 25 years. We worked together in school on broadcasting. And we went up to the home of T.I., and we did this video, and it came out fantastic. I'm very proud of that. So, yeah, check it out if you can. Alexa, thank you so much. A super sticker.
You're super duper.
Lemon character offering a gift to Baby Lemon. Thank you. Stacy said you are a legend too. That's very nice. Judith says the British family and their dog were found dead recently in a national forest. Yeah, if that's a story I'm thinking about, how sad is that? Oh my goodness. Callie says that interview was amazing. Thank you, Callie. I appreciate it. Amazing that there was no prep on the interview. It was so good you held your own with him. That's very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Have you ever reached out to John E. L. Tenney for an interview? I'd love to hear that conversation. We've interviewed John before for Plus Club. I want to get him back. I tried to get him back maybe a few months ago, and we never made connections, but I will try again. He is awesome. Megan says, I just want to say I love listening to these shows because it eases my fears of mortality, and there's so many awesome stories. Thank you so much. Truth Seeker says, nice studio, brother. Thank you so much, Truth Seeker. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and I thank you for tuning in today. This has been so much fun. I appreciate the super stickers, the super chats, all of your suggestions. It's been so much fun. I've realized how much I've missed this, and I've missed spending time with you guys. We had a nice crowd today, and Maddie just mentioned that John E. L. Tenney was on Paranormal Podcast 459. So thanks, Maddie, for chiming in there. And see, Maddie has it together. I said Plus Club. She knew it was Paranormal Podcast. She kind of holds the whole thing together. And check out Unpleasant Dreams. My daughter Cassandra does a great job with the narration. Maddie does a fantastic job with the writing and the research. So much great information in any one of those episodes, and it's thanks to Maddie. So thank you, and we will talk to you next time from the new Spooky Studio. Have a great week. For my friends in the U.S., have a great Labor Day weekend. And as we often say, and you can probably say it with me in unison, stay spooky. Bye-bye, everybody.